Today that we are going to learn about management lessons being a part of Unit 3, management lessons from Vedas. In that, today we are learning about 6 principles of Vedic management which is given by Chanakya. So in Ardhasastra also we have learned something how he derived about how an individual, how a master has to be and all. So these are typical Vedic principles derived by Chanakya to survive in the society, to be good to the society. So first one, we know Vasudhaika Kutumbam. So this represents accepting the whole world as one family. And second one is Samarphana Bhava, dedication towards whatever the work that you are doing as an individual, as an employee. So towards your work, you have to dedicate yourself. Loka Sangraha is the third one, wherein it explains about welfare of all beings. It's not only about human beings, it's about the nature's well-being. Loka Sangraha. Shubha Labha. That means always think about earning of profits in an ethical way. Shubha Labha. So if you think about, if you aspire about good of others, obviously that will yield profits to you as Labha. Fifth one is Nishkama Karma, which is very important for every individual, which is also highlighted in Bhagavad Gita, Nishkama Karma. Deeds without greed. That means do your work dedicatedly and don't expect the outcome. So as per the work that you are doing, the outcome will deliver to you. Next, finally, it's about Atihasya Vajrayet. That is about shunning extremes. So these are the 6 principles that we are going to learn about in detail. So in Vasudhaika Kutumbam, wherein we already told whole world is a family. So Chanakya supported this idea for nation states. Those days we don't have separate countries, nations, only we do have kingdoms. So in this current world, we can treat it as for the nation and states. So he strongly upheld the Vedic belief that the nation state exists, not just for the welfare of its citizens, but also for the world. As an individual, whatever that you are doing to the society, to the family, it always replicates to the nature, to the world. It will represent the whole world. If you are working for a company, it only represents, doesn't mean that you are representing that company alone. Whatever the decisions that you are making during the work, that always reflects the well-being of the society. That is what Vasudhaika Kutumbam, whatever the decisions, whatever the work that you are doing, that has to represent the whole world well-being. So this is the stanza from Ardhashastra. I therefore write this book for the greater good and uplifting of the world. This is one stanza. Are you following me? Am I audible and clear, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please mute your audio whenever we are having class. Don't fail to mute it unless it is necessary. Okay. So next one is about dedication. Samarpana Bhava. Samarpana is a Sanskrit word. Samarpana Bhava. So here, when Chanakya saw the sad state of the nation, when he was writing this, he was in Magadha kingdom, right? So in that kingdom, he saw the sad state of the nation. So there he was depressed and sought revocation. But then he realized and contemplating of Vedic literature. That means here his work, so finally he decided to establish a single empire for a greater good. So you might have watched this Gautami Putra Satakarni, Balakrishna movie, isn't it? Are you people with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can someone say precisely what the story is all about? Why Satakarni did that, winning all kingdoms? What's the motive of this movie? Can someone, if you could able to recollect the story?
Only one king throughout the India, ma'am. No foreign kings can rule India.
Hmm. So if the power is centralized, if we call it as a management term, if one's power is centralized and right king, there won't be any conflicts, wars, and that king will decide how the people has to move in. That means it's not about having bossism, it's about leadership. That is the same concept which is given by Chanakya. So single empire for a greater good. Instead of having so many kingdoms and having wars between the kingdoms to win the kingdoms, many people are dying in this process and many people are devoting towards their kingdoms. That should not happen. The nature is common as well as the country has to have common in nature for every activity. So he found Chandragupta, who is the king of Magadha kingdom. He was a teenager and he educated and he was the best king during those days. But it was for two decades it was going good. So he derived Samarpana Bhava. That means when a king is being dedicated towards the work, definitely that country will be happy. So this Samarpana Bhava we also can take in the context of Ramayana also. He is in the side of Dharma, Rama. There also we can have this point dedication towards his people. I'm talking about Rama here. So Rama was highly dedicated to this people. Whatever those people said, if it is into Dharma process, he wore of it. He wore for the process. That is what Samarpana Bhava. Next, Loka Sangraha. It's about welfare of all beings. Loka, Samasta. That's about good. Okay. So here, as an individual or for a leader, if we typically talk about a leader, so this leader has to maintain good observance of the respective duties. That means whatever the authority, power he is having, he has to utilize it in a right way. And he has to think of good for every being. It's not only about human beings, it's for the nature. So his personal discipline always supports this Loka Sangraha. No partialities, no nepotisms, no carrying of the words and all. Right? So when leader is having good wisdom, and if he is having good team along with him, definitely that leader can win and always he thinks about the welfare of his fellow beings. Next one, Shubha Labha. Usually we used to see before the businesses, Shubha Labha, we using swastik and Om, right? The same thing here, ethical profits. But again, it's a debatable concept. How far the business premises are being ethical? Earning profits is being more objective nowadays instead of thinking of welfare of beings, right? But even though whatever the crisis comes, If a leader think about Shubha Labha, that means good yield of profits, ethical yield of profits, so that kingdom is always could be very happy. That is the primary motive. In the PPT it was explained this was a key economic objective. Shubha Labha is a economic. Here they are talking about wealth. So not violating rights and economy, he shall enjoy his desires. Then he shall never be devoid of happiness. He may enjoy all equal degrees of three pursuits, which is of life, charity, wealth. Okay. So wealth, these three are very important to every individual. Life is very important as an individual. How that life has to yield through charity, wealth, and desire. These are the three pursuits for the life. These three are very important. Helping others, wealth, making wealth. You should not sit alone, and your perspective is making wealth in sense which can be used to satisfy the society desire, as well as that wealth has to fulfill the desire of a person and the society. So this is a mutual consent between the nature or world and the leader. So here Chanakya held that wealth is an important as desire and charity. That's equally important. Who nowadays people are highly voting for the money, but unless it is satisfied the people, that doesn't make sense for sure. So wealth is about the knowledge. It's not about the money here. So real wealth is about the knowledge, which knowledge will yield you the sufficient inputs to survive. And Nishkama Karma. So as I said before, this was given in Bhagavad Gita also. This was discussed by Lord Krishna to the Arjuna. So Nishkama Karma is do your duties. Don't expect the outcome. This is the expected outcome. Don't determine the outcome. That is what Nishkama Karma. So apart from this previous one, Chanakya upheld the idea of deeds without the greed by mentioning the duties of kings. That means whenever you are whenever you are ruling a kingdom, your expectations, maybe I'm having power and I can make more wealth, I can win another kingdoms and all. If you expect something from your work, definitely that will lead to some of the sorrow. That will lead to wish. It doesn't mean you should not set a goal. It's about do your work hard, dedicatedly. Obviously, the outcome, whatever you are expecting, that will come. That is what the meaning of Nishkama Karma. So here the king may enjoy his desires, but only by ensuring non-violation of righteousness and no harm to the economy. Right? So this is what Nishkama Karma, and next and final one is Adhihastya Varjayet, shunning extremes. So balance is the key ingredient according to Kautilya. So he clearly shunned negative qualities. He didn't support. He also mentioned that people should shun extreme and senseless goodness for the sake of unworthy people. We know someone is bad and they are going to commit something bad to the society, even though if they are our near ones, we should not support them for those. Okay, and being straightforward also. The people who is always straightforward, that means I am like this. Nowadays many people are showing this, those people titled it as an attitude. They are committing mistakes and they are doing nonsense, and again they will show it as an attitude which was adopted by some X and Y person. That should not be done. So always being highly straightforward. That's what he gave the idiom here, that tree is chopped first when it is straight. So you should not be stubborn on some negative qualities. So the essence of this is finding the balance between good and bad actions, happiness and unhappiness, pain and pleasure, cries and laughters.